You're a legitimate Luxembourgish.
I am a Luxembourg citizen, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, you just got a whole lot of street cred with our family.
Well, that's one.
Welcome to the Business Over Beer Happy Hour, a daily dose of support for business owners, entrepreneurs, and people passionate about what they do. Hosted by Ben Surratt, Jonathan Kaler, and Jason Knope, it's time to grab a beer, enjoy some cheer, and join together.
Okay, hit live.
We also have two dogs.
Yeah, clearly. That's great timing.
Hey,
The dogs let everybody know that we were on.
who let the dogs out? Oh, we're live. Thank goodness. Everybody Hey, everybody. We are live. It's Monday. And I'm staring at some awesome people. But right now, I just want to listen to one. Mr. The Terror of Power himself. Mr. Hashtag Respect the Hair. Some people call him the Space Cowboy, but no. We call him Spartacus. Jonathan Kaler. Happy Monday, Jonathan.
Happy Monday to you, Ben. Well, thanks for having me back. You know, this is our 19th happy hour, if you can believe that. And I'm feeling extra powerful today. You know, I had the weekend to kind of refill the engines. You know, worked out in the yard. It was a beautiful weekend. We had great weather, shotgun, some beer.
Saw that.
It was a great weekend. So feeling re-energized. And speaking of re-energized, we got somebody else here. The gift that keeps on giving. He is the gangster of Hazeldale. Are you down with the K-N-O-P-P?
Yeah, you know me.
Jason Knope, welcome to Happy Hour, my friend. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty damn good, actually. I mean, it's Casual Friday again. I'm on here with you two dudes and this lovely lady as well. I don't know how you guys ended up knowing her. Ben's luck, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. My luck, her loss. Danae Deppiesse, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
Yeah.
Hey, what about us? What do you mean,
Oh
thanks,
yeah,
Ben?
you too. Yeah.
All of a sudden, this is Ben's show? Man,
Well, it looks like you're not getting invited back, Kaler.
I'm out of here. I'm joking. I'm sorry. Danae, welcome to Happy Hour. Thanks so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We were talking a little bit beforehand, and clearly you're a good sport, so I appreciate you putting up with me. And you've put up with Ben all these years, and, well, Knope's Knope.
Yeah.
So,
You didn't have to do it like that, Danae. Oh my goodness. She was like, yeah.
But it's been so fun.
well, hey, if there's one thing we do at Biz Over Beer, man, we know ourselves, and, you know, hey, the truth hurts. So, well, this is Business Over Beer, so we want to get into your business to kind of start off. So, obviously, COVID-19 has hit everybody in different ways. The three of us have kids, all of us, so we're working hard to educate our kids and try to work with the schools and the teachers. But you have frontline, firsthand knowledge of that. So why don't you share with everybody a little bit about what you do and just real high level kind of how COVID-19 has impacted your job.
All right, my business is officially education. I have been a teacher. This is my 20th year. So I have been, my background initially was in special education. And then about 6 years ago, I took a position as an instructional support teacher for the Oshkosh School District. And so I am in an elementary school, and I do instructional support for teachers and for students, as well as district level. So people in my position do some math intervention. We do some coaching for teachers around all sorts of subjects. We also work with differentiation of curriculum for all students. And then at the district level, I work with the kindergarten grade level team, and we work with mainly math and standards-based instruction. So we've actually, see, for us, our last day of school was, I think, March 13th. So since then, we've been emergency remote learning is probably the best way to put it. It's not really officially distance or online learning. This was all, like, everything changed so fast. Within about 4 hours, we had to figure out how we were going to make sure that all of our kids had what they needed at the elementary level to take home with them on a Friday afternoon, because we didn't know if we were coming back on Monday. So all sorts of things had to kind of be thrown together fast to make sure that kids had what they needed in case we were learning for an extended amount of time outside of a school building.
So what were some of those things? So kind of talk us through just that aspect of it. When you say the things that they need, are you talking books, or are you talking about Chromebooks or computers, or kind of what all went into that? Or, I mean, are you even talking about support and family support and ability to learn from a remote standpoint? What are all of those things that that you made sure that the kids needed? Oh, I think we lost her for a second.
Bueller?
Well, I guess she didn't want to talk about that. I obviously I offended her.
You have offended her, Caleb.
That's not the first time that's happened. So I have that effect on a lot of women. So, you know.
She's giving you the look. I don't know what you did.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
She
So
dropped. Well, while we're waiting,
she can restabilize and I'm sure she'll be back. But in the meantime, Ben,
Ben's thirsty.
You look thirsty.
I'm very thirsty. So today,
hey, why don't you start with why don't you kick us off with the trivia question?
So the question is, and this is for a $10 Fort Side gift card. Okay. Today's riddle. Oh, there's Danae. Danae, sorry, you're done. A barrel of beer fell on a man. Why didn't it hurt him? Please answer in the message.
That is a great question. So yes, everyone,
And you
put
can
your
win.
answers in, and if you're here, give us a wave, say hello, let us know you're here, and most importantly, let us know what you're drinking.
Yes.
And so, Ben, let's kick it off. What are you drinking tonight, my friend?
So I went to Tap's Growler House, and my good friend Kevin hooked me up with a monkless Belgian ale.
Wow.
And it's a dry hop Belgian style triple.
I love triples.
So
Where is monkless out of? I don't know them.
Let me see. I should have done my research.
Should have.
It's product of the USA. That's what it says. Product of the USA.
Well, there you have it. It's an American Belgian beer. Fair enough. Let's get into it.
I will.
Oh, I'm really jealous.
You should be.
You know, the least you could have done is picked up a second one and just dropped it on my front porch. You know I love triples.
I only got one, man. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait to sip, but it smells freaking amazing.
Well, I went. I didn't go. I had them come to me. So the Brothers Cascadia Brewing Company, our good friends over there, they were brewing with the Beer Nerds on Saturday.
Saw
Those
that.
of you who don't know Beer Nerds, that's a Facebook group that basically talks about and drinks beer all the time. So go check them out. And they are brewing a beer with Brothers Cascadia, and they were talking about their new delivery service. Well, I had it delivered. This is the Chromatic series. It is a Belgian sour golden ale.
Dude.
It was brewed in red wine barrels and peaches. So this is
Wow.
not, this is a little off book for me, but you know, I like the way it looked. They said it was a good deal, so I had them deliver it to me.
Give it a whirl.
Let's see what this one looks like. I'll bet this is beautiful looking. This was brewed in July of 2018. So this is a almost 2-year-old beer.
Dude, can we get one of those things where the scent comes through? Do they make those yet? Canope, do they make those yet?
No, I don't think so.
They don't
You're
have
the
that?
IT guy. You need to figure it out.
Yeah. What are you drinking in Tatooine, Canope?
I am drinking a Ghost Runner Brewing Pilsner once again. I got to finish this keg off so I can get something else.
There you go.
Delicious, though. I'll wait for you guys.
And Danae, you showed us, but you didn't show the people. What are you drinking?
Well, and we were remiss in letting everybody know where
Maryville.
she's from.
Oh, that's right.
So she mentioned Oshkosh. That's the school district she works for. But
Yep.
so
Wisconsin is where I'm from, but I have a wine from Washington.
represent.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorites, a Pinot Gris.
We love that. Well, thank you for being here. Happy hour, everyone.
Roast.
Rose.
Oh my goodness.
You go first, Ben.
Oh, I can't even. It's so smooth. The fact that it's a triple. Oh my goodness. It's scary. It's delicious. Yeah. How was yours, bro?
It's really good. It's really tart. Like it is. I mean, it is just like back of your jowls, clenching tart. The peaches really come through. I mean, it's a beautiful color. Yeah, but it is really tart and sour. If you like sours, I'm sure this is it. But it's got a little bit of that kind of golden ale body to it. So there's enough of it there to say, hey, this is beer. But yeah, it's super tart, but really tasty, really refreshing on a nice warm sunny day for sure.
Mine has the apricot of a Belgian, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the bitterness at the end. It's just very smooth and scary. Like it's that good. I could just.
Yeah. God, and even on the second drink, it opened up. It's got a dryness. It's got, I don't know if that's from the red wine barrels, but it is kind of got that like tannic Cabernet Sauvignon dryness on the front of your tongue that it didn't have on the first drink. So interesting to see how it opens up just that fast. So let it sit there for a minute and see what the third drink gives us.
So, Danae.
Yeah.
How long have you been an educator?
This is my 20th year.
Whoa. And so you also have your own family and your own children.
I do.
How many do you have?
I have 4. So I have a 16-year-old boy, a 12-year-old girl, an 8-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old boy. Yeah.
Wow. And so you are teaching them or giving them instructions.
Yeah.
While also having to create curriculums, or what are you doing for the other students in your district? Are you getting curriculums, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I help to prepare curriculum. I also help to find the technical piece of it and so that data analysis also. We just want to make sure that all of our kids are accessing what they can. So I do all of those parts and pieces. I help to support the teachers. I'm also on all of their Google Classrooms. So I see some of those assignments that are going out, assignments that are coming in, and just kind of helping the teachers to understand what should come next, or what's working, what's not working, those types of things.
I mean, I know that you don't have answers right now because everything is pretty fluid with you guys. But what have you noticed that is working with your teachers, and what hasn't been working or had a negative reaction to the teachers, just from a teacher standpoint?
From a teacher's standpoint, I work with a fabulous staff who really know their kids and know their families. So they've really done a great job of just kind of giving families bite-sized pieces, because we're all in this together, but we're all still apart. Mm-hmm. So we have to give families little chunks, because not everybody is a teacher, not everybody is an educator. So being able to give them what they need and be able to keep the communication lines open has been the biggest thing. I would say probably the connection with families has been what's been working the best, those interpersonal communications with the students, but then also with families, parents, making sure that they know that we're there for them and we'll help them with whatever they need.
That's awesome.
Who's facilitating that communication with the parents? Because that's probably been my biggest, I don't want to say frustration, but maybe it's surprising how little actual communication there's been with the parents. There's been a lot of electronic communication, a lot of emails back and forth, but I haven't talked to my kid's teacher. I haven't talked to anybody from the school or the school district personally, and that surprises me a little bit. So, what has been your school's approach, and who's kind of facilitating that conversation with the families, and what does that look like for you guys?
Really, for us, it looks more like teachers communicating with families. From the district perspective, we're sending out emails, we're sending the text messages of the updates for the building type things and the district type things, and then the grading pieces and that. But really, when it comes to facilitating communication with families, it's been teachers and school social workers and guidance counselors that have been the ones that are communicating with families. My 8-year-old has a Google Meet with his classroom once a week. And in order to do that, because we aren't one-to-one with devices, K2, we are only one-to-one with devices 3 through 12. So in order to do that, the teacher has to send emails to the families and the parents in order to get access to students so that they know what's going on. So really, when he has his Google meeting, I also have that with him because I have to be the one to help him set it up. Now my older two, the middle schooler and the high schooler, really do a lot more of those communications with the teachers themselves. We get some information from the staff, but not nearly as much as at the elementary level.
What does it look like for the supporting staff for the school district? Are they like the cafeteria staff, janitorial? Are they still working? Do they? Yeah,
they have. Our district has been really, really good about trying to find ways that they can utilize them, or giving them opportunities for professional development. For some of our paraprofessional staff, our custodians, we still are considered essential employees, the same with cafeteria workers. They are the ones that are helping to make sure that all of our food program food is getting out to the families.
I was going to get to that, that was going to get to that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we feed, I don't even remember how many meals that we've provided, but we provide breakfast and lunch and then weekend food for entire families, not just the students, but we've taken on feeding the entire family.
Wow. Wow.
With a lot of generous donations. And then we also have some funding that we're utilizing through the federal and state government. But that's a huge undertaking. So we have a lot of staff that are helping with that. We also have, for kindergarten through second grade, because they don't have access to devices necessarily, because if they don't have an older sibling that has a device, they don't necessarily have a device. So we've actually put together packets for each one of those kindergarten through second grade students, and that was done by all of our paraprofessional staff. And now it's going to be delivered this week to each household. Wow. By our busing system and paraprofessionals that are going to leave it at the doors. So our district has done an awesome job of finding things and making sure that all of our support staff has a way to continue to earn an income. They have, whether it's professional development that they're logging their hours, or they're logging their hours through the food program, whatever it is, we're trying to make sure that they have their opportunities so that they can continue to have an income as well.
That's huge. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what does the day-to-day look like for the teacher? And the reason I ask that is, because as a parent and, there are days that I'm trying to do my work, yet I'm having to do the teaching as well. And so some days are harder than others. And so I want to get an appreciation for what are the teachers working on every day? What have their challenges been behind the scenes? What are they, accountable for and responsible for, so that we as parents understand that, hey, look, yeah, we are doing the day-to-day job of enforcing the curriculum or doing the teaching, if you will. But these teachers have a lot of responsibility and a lot of accountability. What does that look like for them on a day-to-day basis?
Really, it depends on the grade level, and it depends too, like from a K-5 perspective, they have a lot of resources that they have to kind of comb through. They had to learn a lot of the technology pieces of providing a video lesson or providing things through Google Classroom or providing things that they may not be used to using. So learning the technology, that was a huge learning curve for some people. But then also, because you aren't face-to-face teaching, it looks so much different. Because you're providing all of these resources and you're hoping that kids are accessing them, but then you're really trying to get that feedback. So we have office hours. So we have official office hours between 9 and 11:30 in the morning, and then again 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. And really that's the focus of when they're trying to make those phone calls to families, when they're trying to connect or have some of those Google meetings. But we have, like tomorrow, Declan has a Google meeting at 4:30 because it worked for more of the families to do it at that point. So they're trying to figure out best schedules for families, but some of them also are not only doing the teaching and the planning and the pushing out curriculum, and then also responding. Like every time my 8-year-old does what's called Flipgrid. So he'll record and record something on Flipgrid, and it goes to the teacher. The teacher watches it and then comments on it. So for each one of her students, she's watching, like sometimes Declan will put, 6 or 8 Flipgrids in a day on all the different things that he's doing, and some days he does 3. So she's watching all of those, posting them, and then also posting comments. The same with all of the assignments. So their day, one day could look like phone calls or Google meetings with staff, or it could be phone calls or Google meetings with families. But each day it could look completely different. So, and I think that's the part that's been the hardest, not only for families, but also for teachers, is it looks so different than what we're used to, that it's been a huge learning curve for all of the educators and families throughout this whole, quarantine, buildings closed, everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would imagine the technology side of that. I mean, you have teachers who haven't learned some of that technology, but you also have parents that don't know that. And so having to, have you had to deal with that at all yourself? Or?
Yep. Yeah. And some of it is just, and that's the other piece of it, sometimes you have teachers that are putting out screencastifys so that families know what they should be doing. So they're putting out videos or castifys so they can walk parents through some of the stuff because they don't know either. So a lot of it is communication and guidance and staying connected throughout the day.
Do you see anything that is being implemented now that could, in the future, when this is all said and done, be implemented after this is, like, anything that you are learning now that could be implemented when this is all said and done?
Oh, definitely. Because I think some of the communication and the technology that we're using now and that we're experimenting with now, that we have, that, it's kind of been thrown into the fire, like you have to learn it. So those are definitely pieces that I think we're going to see coming back to a classroom. Because if we have kids that are, that may not be able to come back, that you still need to make sure we give them some different types of homebound instruction, that would be perfect. And some kids that just learn differently, that this could be awesome for them. Incorporating some of those pieces, that self-paced piece or the differentiation piece, being able to make sure that we meet all the needs of our learners.
And I know that you you started with special ed, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And
Yeah.
so like I think I haven't heard anybody talk about special ed and their needs and their family needs. Are you in communication with those families with children who have special needs, and what's the response from them?
I think some of them it's working great for, others not as much. And I think it really is an individual, just like students have IEPs, they all have an individualized need for something, and it could work much better for them to be able to be self-paced. There could be some tools that they have access to on a more regular basis, whether it's being able to read text, have something read to them where maybe in the classroom they wouldn't normally do it because they don't want to be different. So this is a piece where they could be able to do that more easily because no one else is there, so they don't need to worry about that piece. They're doing everything that they can within their homes, so that may work better for them. And there's other kids that just really need that structure of school and that predictability, and that's a little bit rough for them. So I think it depends on the student and how they're responding to what their need happens to be.
Totally.
So let's remind everybody, a barrel of beer fell on a man. Why didn't it hurt him? So we're still looking for answers. Still looking for answers from everybody who's watching. T Money checked in. Hey, T Money, welcome to the program. Vindy checked in. Vindy checked in, and Vindy says, "See you soon, Canope." And Duncan let us know that he's drinking some Orange Whip from Fort Side. So Duncan, let us know the answer to the question. You can go back and get another 6-pack of Orange Whip from Fort Side.
Danae laughed because Tiernan, her eldest child, I call him T Money all the time.
Oh, there you go. We've got the T Money of the Upper Midwest and T Money of the Pacific Northwest. There you go. It's good to know. I couldn't figure out why that was so funny. I had to look up to see if I had like spinach in my teeth or something. Well, thanks everybody for listening and watching. Let us know if you're here. Oh, BC1 is in the house. Of course.
Liz.
What a surprise! We love seeing Liz Bergen on the feed there. Thanks for tuning in. So, and for everybody else who's watching, check in, give us a wave, let us know you're here.
So the one of the reasons I wanted you on, Danae, is because of the fact that you have such a spread in the ages of your children, and a lot of us are being anointed at-home educators, and we don't know what's going on.
I think Andrew's going to burn the house down today with everything in it. Technology out the door.
So, what tips could you give our people if they're having problems with teaching, because that's a real thing?
It is. Honestly, give yourself some grace. Realistically, you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you wonder how the house didn't burn down, and that's okay. Because exactly. There have been days. And it's totally
only Monday through Friday. At least in our house.
Yes, and really, if you have more than one child, you never know which is going to be a good day, which is going to be a bad day. We like to take turns in our house. So, one day is great for one, and the other 3 are off the wall, and one day is good for 3 of them, and the other one is not so much. Mm-hmm. But really, just give yourself grace, because this isn't normal. This isn't normal for the kids. This isn't normal for the parents. So it's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to not get to something someday. Do your best to set up a structure.
Oh, we lost her again.
It's the Wisconsin internet.
It's Wisconsin internet. It's different than the internet in the Northwest. Completely different internet.
Well, I would think the Wisconsin internet is drunk all the time, right?
Yeah, there we go.
It is.
It totally is. It
Yep.
totally-
Hang on, hold my beer.
Hang on. See, give me grace. Just give me grace.
Grace. Grace.
Grace. Well, I hope that there's a newfound respect for teachers, because I know there's a lot of people out there that just kind of say, you know, I'm sending them off to the babysitter and I don't care, and all they want to do is complain about it. And now some of them are kind of getting a dose of their own medicine there, and you know, I mean, having to teach your own kids and realizing all the things that go into this daily with teachers. So
That's a good point, Canope. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if any of us parents have sat down and watched those student meetings, and you know, my son, he gets his face on camera and he likes to show everybody how close he can get and what his tongue looks like. And you throw 23 other kids who feel the same way, and you got this teacher who's trying to wrangle all these kids up and teach them what the mute button means and
Yep.
what's appropriate emotions to put up, or you know, it's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kids are jumping rope and jumping on the bed. Man, one of the kids was making pancakes during the meeting, and it's just like,
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
and I get to
you know, and I'm over here just off camera
I'm getting
going.
some pancakes.
I'm over here off camera going, sit up straight, get a good look good in the camera. Let him go on mute.
Stop sliding.
That's what he says to Canope all the time.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so yeah, you do have an appreciation for what they must go through when that is. I mean, because it's that way in real life, right? When all those 25 kids are right there, how hard it is to keep their attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I can't get and keep my kids' attention just one-on-one for more than about, I don't know, 2.5 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
What guidance are the school districts or the schools or the teachers getting from the state as far as requirements for passing and moving on? Obviously, I'm not talking about, you know, high school seniors and graduating, but more like these. I mean, my son is in elementary school. You deal in elementary school, so you know, I know there's a certain number of hours you have to be in school, and whatever all those guidelines are. This is unprecedented territory, I would assume, for the states and for the districts. What kind of guidance are they getting from the state as far as, you know, achieving those certain benchmarks, or have they revised the benchmarks, or how are they determining that these kids have put in enough time that they can move on to the next grade?
Right now, in the state of Wisconsin, they have let school districts be a little more autonomous. One thing that they did was they did cancel all of the spring testing, because generally that's where we have the measures, and we're, you know, required to take the different tests at the different grade levels. Those have all been waived, and really at this point we're just kind of rolling with what we have. Our biggest goal, K-5, is to maintain the skills that they have for when they come back. So, and realistically, that's our goal. We want them to keep what they have, and once we get back together, we are going to deal with that at that point, and we'll do whatever we need to do in order to make that, you know, education magic happen. So it's different for each school district, but for our school district, we've done, and 6 through 8 is a little bit different, and 9 through 12 is a little bit different.
Sure.
So K-5, our main purpose is to make sure that we have connections with kids and that they're safe and that they can maintain the skills that they have.
Are you involved in any sort of networking groups, or, you know, do you have any other, you know, contact with schools and school districts of other states, maybe Illinois or Michigan or even further? What have you encountered in other states relative to what you've experienced? Are you seeing that a lot of the schools and states are going through the same things, or is there a wide variety of how this is being handled state to state?
In some of my, we call them PLCs, but professional learning communities. So on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, I have connections all over the country and actually all over the world. And really, it's being handled similarly, because this is all new territory. We've never dealt with anything like this. We've never been trained for anything like this. this is something that we don't know for sure what comes next. We're it's building the plane while we're flying it. So we're trying to
really well put.
That's a good analogy.
We're trying to make sure that kids just get what they need. So, and it really is, it's not just Wisconsin, it's not just Washington, it's all over, because we're really all in the same situation where we're not actually going to school buildings, meeting in traditional classrooms.
I think the biggest thing that I tried to grace for sure is one of the things I tried to deal with on a daily basis. But, I think trying to learn while they're learning, especially with Quincy, is learning. What is it? Common Core? What is that thing? What is it? The Common Core, the math.
Yeah.
Woo. I got a problem with it, but you know what? I want to learn. I want to learn how to do it. So Quincy, show me how to do the thing, the stupid thing. I mean, the
jumping on the open number line.
Yes, that thing.
That's my specialty. You need some math intervention, Matt.
I do. I really do.
Feel free to, we'll do a Zoom meeting. I'll help you out.
Awesome deal.
Can you send Amy the invite? She might need that.
Perfect.
Second and third grade math for adults. That is a thing.
But no, it is. It's a
real
thing. And but I want to learn with him and with Bernie too. But again, you have the different age groups and they all learn differently. And Bernie just, some get it and some don't. And you're like, this is what a teacher deals with on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
So going back to what you're saying, Canope, yeah, bro, I have a new appreciation for teachers and educators all over the world.
You know, I've been around teachers for a while because Amy used to nanny for like 4 of them. So we've kind of had this appreciation for quite some time where we get to hear the stories and some of the things that are going on behind the scenes and how parents react to certain things. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for teachers, that's for sure.
100%.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
You need somebody on your side, right?
Right.
So what's the story in Wisconsin then? So you mentioned are the kids going back. So in Washington, our schools are closed for the remainder of the year. Is that the same in Wisconsin, or I know in Ohio where I have family, they still are trying. I think they're only closed through April, so they're still trying to get the kids back into school. What's happening in Wisconsin?
Governor Evers extended the safer at home order last week, Thursday. So that goes through May 26th. And then he also said that then closed the schools for the remaining portion of 2019-20 school year. And then we just wait to see what things are like this summer to see when we're going to go back.
Do you think that, do you think they're going to have to inoculate the kids for this virus before they go back into school? Do you think it'll go that far?
I don't think so.
No.
I think that's...
Go ahead, sorry.
I think that piece is a little too far out yet. I think there are a few more things that need to kind of fall into place before something like that would be thrown onto the table. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's just some things that I've heard and it's whatever, but.
Yep.
We might see here in the near future because I think Germany and Sweden are starting to slowly open some things back up. So it might be a good source of information for us too. So.
And Texas.
Yeah.
And Texas, Texas, didn't they stay open?
Yeah, they might not have ever closed. I'm not sure.
Yeah. They don't even know about the virus. What virus?
One last thing, Danae. What's the community like? Just in general, what is your city? What's the vibe? What's the What's going on there? Are people kind of getting restless, or are they
I
obeying?
think slightly restless because we're colder than you guys are. So we've been indoors.
You are?
I know, right?
Well, it's still
So
only
we've
April.
been indoors a little more.
It just snowed last weekend, didn't it? I mean,
Yep, it did.
I mean, it's still April, so it's still end of winter.
Right.
What did you say to me, Danae? So it's going to be 30 degrees tomorrow, so we got that to look forward to.
Yep.
I might go outside for a walk.
Today, 30 tomorrow, Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah, shorts and a light jacket weather.
Right.
It's spring in Wisconsin for you.
Nice accent.
Yeah.
But everybody's stir crazy, I know, but are they?
We really, Oshkosh has pulled together for several things just during this school year. So I think we're already kind of rallied. It's not the same here in Winnebago County, which is where Oshkosh is, as it is like say in a Madison, in Dane County, or in Milwaukee County. We don't have the heavy concentration of cases that they do. So I think it's just a different feel. Because I don't know that there's that same level of fear necessarily that there could be in some of those cities where there's a heavier population density. Oshkosh is like 69,000, so it's not huge. It's a decent sized community, but it's definitely quieter. Just going out to walk the dogs, there's no traffic. So we don't have to worry about crossing any streets because nobody's driving anywhere.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Be particularly careful tomorrow morning when you
Right.
take the dogs out.
There we go. Represent.
Oh, look at that! He's got the
Nice.
Represent.
Did you jump around? We jumped around in Wisconsin on Saturday.
Oh, I saw that. They're doing that once a month or something like that now. Or?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys are just randomly jumping around. Wisconsin.
3 o'clock.
You
All the radio stations in Wisconsin play jump around. And so at 3 o'clock, you could record video of jumping around.
Maybe we should
Just
jump
like-
around in solidarity.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I wish we had time to talk all night and drink beer and wine, but we're gonna have to leave it there. Thank you so much for coming on. Your insights into kind of what's going on behind the scenes, within the school district is really helpful for me, and I'm sure it's helpful for all of our listeners who are parents and are going through the same challenges that we all are. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us on Happy Hour.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It was great to chat.
Yeah. If people have questions for you, is there any way they can message you or find you on Facebook?
You can find me on Facebook, and I'd be happy to answer any questions and help reassure you that you're doing okay.
Help teach the second grade math to the parents.
Feel free.
And nope. If
Yes,
people
sir.
want to find out about Business Over Beer, where do they go?
Well, they can find Business Over Beer at bizoverbeer.com. We have all of our social media handles there. We have content links on our website for our podcast shows, our YouTube channel. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find us here live on Facebook. And hey, Kaylor, don't we have something special coming up at all?
And do not miss out on the Biz Over Beer Challenge. It's on. So we're challenging everybody every Sunday. We're going to do a fun little beer challenge, and Canope kicked us off yesterday with the old-fashioned shotgun. So we would love to see everybody's videos doing a shotgun. There's a couple out there. Go to our Facebook page. You can see it. I successfully did it yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Ben's dragging his feet. I'm not sure. I think he's afraid. I think he's scared.
It might be.
No,
So
He is.
I'm
Hey,
preparing myself.
Is that what it is? Mentally getting all ready.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, we would love to see people do the Biz Over Beer Challenge. Tag us on those videos. It should be a lot of fun. And if you don't want to do it, if you get challenged and don't want to do it, that's okay. Go buy a gift card to one of your favorite local small businesses and let us know what that is so we can go support them too. Hashtag Biz Over Beer Challenge. It's a thing.
Boom. Danae, thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you and what you're doing. And I couldn't imagine having 4 and doing what you're doing plus other children. So cheers.
So I am the chaos coordinator.
That's right.
Exactly.
For sure.
Love you, sister. Love you guys.
Me too.
And we will see you all on a Wednesday.
Good night.
Good night.
Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Alley Cat by Soul Shifters. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next Business Over Beer Happy Hour. I thought they canceled all the flights out of PDX to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there was
thought all
one
the-
left. It was on a Falcon, I think was what it was called. And I got out of it quick.
Yeah, you flew private?
Yep. Had to hire
man.
somebody.
I thought all the X-Wings were grounded, but I guess not.
Those were, yeah, but the Falcon wasn't. I just had to pay for it.
Did you get the Nerf herder discount?
Yeah, nice.